Sometimes the darkest people who want to harm you live the closest to you. Sometimes they're the ones who birth you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a really dark one, very gruesome, and oh my god, they're blaming the dad. It's a lot of evidence. It's very, just viewer discretion, okay? If it's not for you, and we're talking about mutilation, guys, okay? So just be prepared. So this is about a 13-year-old girl who was just found, mind you, on the 25th, I believe. Murdered, raped, hands cut off, throat slit. Her throat was almost slit off, y'all. They found her on the second floor of a burning building. Oh my goodness. Now, somebody got arrested. The dad got arrested. She told her school, she told her bus, she told adults that she was getting abused. They said they heard a lot of stuff. They told, nobody did anything. The child service, I'm telling you, the child CPS, they really got to start like suing this company. They don't do their job. This woman was also living in the house with her grandmother. Did she not know about the abuse? Was she abusing her? There's a lot of secrets in families, y'all. You never would know because people don't talk. This girl was mutilated, raped, just discarded. And the killer was allegedly her father. This is so scary. The fact that this was so recent this month. I do believe her body was found the 25th, but they said that she was missing since the 16th. And he even went on TV talking about like he was like how she was missing, like, and if it's true that it's him, that is insane. And that's wild that, you have people and parents who go on TV after they kill a child and they know they killed the child. Y'all know a big one? What's that? I don't know. Is it Susan? That lady who drowned her kids. She was on TV crying for sympathy. And it turns out she drowned them in the car, left them in the car seat, jumped out because she didn't want to kill herself last minute, but let them drown. And she was on TV crying. I'm telling you, you really have some evil people out here. This is horrifying. He cut her hands off. Slit her throat. She was raped. Now, if this is, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to say allegedly because they said he was charged, like, he's the suspect right now. If that's true that you raped your daughter, you murdered her, you cut her hands off, is that because of evidence? What is that part? Like, this is really freaky. This is so sad. She was only 13 years old, y'all. She was an honor roll student. She was going to elementary school to get an achievement award from there. Like, this is so heartbreaking. And she told so many people she was being abused at home and nothing happened. The adults told CPS they didn't do anything. They 100% need to start being charged because they don't do their job. And it's like, that's the system. That's what this is now, y'all. We have a lot of kids in the system who are left to be abused and left in their homes and, just without a care for anybody in there, and they don't care about these kids. It's really sad. This is horrifying. Let's get into it. Her voice was not heard. 13-year-old girl allegedly murdered by father who went on TV to express concern when she was still considered missing. So his name is Darnell Jones and her name is Mutilated. A 13-year-old girl in Ohio was found severely mutilated and murdered this month. Now police are blaming her father for what has been described as a horrific crime. Mutilated was last seen alive on the night of March 16th, family members said. She was reported missing soon thereafter, and volunteer searches commenced in the days that followed. On March 25th, the very worst fears were confirmed. She was found suffering from multiple wounds on the second floor of a burned out and abandoned building. The violence inflicted on her was unsettling. This is one of the most horrific cases I've ever heard, Columbus police officer Brian Steele told the news. This was a teen who was murdered, raped, had her hands cut off, and her throat almost cut off. This is an absolute animal that came into our town. An autopsy that same day determined the girl died of multiple incised wounds of the neck. according to the Lucas coroner's office. The child's manner of death was ruled a homicide. Let's stop right there. Oh my God. That's so sad. So her death, he slit her throat. And I'm sorry, that's so gruesome, so detailed. It's the case, y'all. And I said this before. I think somebody else tried to ask why do I talk about it so detailedly? It's the case. Like, I feel like if you don't, you won't understand how gruesome it really is. Like, this stuff is gruesome. And I feel like this is the only way you can really see how disgusting humans can be. How this animalistic tendencies they have to be wild animals and ravage and just attack another person, a child, mind you. Like, this is disgusting. And for some reason, I don't know why we have mutilations going on. There's been a couple of cases. I did one earlier. There was another, like, with a girl who her body was like chopped up. Sorry, mutilated, because that sounds so crazy. Another girl who was mutilated, 14, in Arizona. Like, I don't know what's going on, and I believe they were runaways. But why would somebody do that? The only thing I could think of with the hands and feet is like DNA fingerprints, but I'm like, there's DNA all over the body. Now, if that's true, like with the, I don't know, maybe it's like the fingerprint thing, but I'm like, why would you, oh God, y'all. Just people who do this in general, who commit crimes, because this is not a normal thing to do. Unfortunately, crime is becoming so normal, it's insane. Somebody who can mutilate a child and rape a child and just discard of them is insane. If that's true, that's the dad, oh my God, have mercy, not on his soul, because he deserves to suffer with like the most immense amount of pain ever. These cases with the mutilation stuff and how they discard of people 100% deserve death. Am I wrong or am I right? I swear to God. And I don't like that. Y'all know it was and this is definitely up there with one of the worst ones. I think anything dealing with mutilation is one of the worst ones. I did the one with the grandmother who was mutilated. This is very graphic, y'all, so I apologize, but you can go check that video out. The grandmother was mutilated by her daughter and then the daughter's daughter. They put her body parts on the grill and start grilling it for some reason to mince the smell. They was boiling her. They were black, and I'm saying that because I want to say this is not normal for black people, but to be honest, nowadays it's just everybody. But I'd be taken off when I hear black people. And then the woman was like, she like cut her up downstairs and she was in a bed. That was 100%. I still say that's one of the most gruesome cases I've ever heard. And I have a playlist y'all can go check out, which I put on there as the worst cases. There's a couple of them on there, and this is going on there too. I just don't understand how people can look at that. I don't know how you can do that. Is it a shock factor where you continue because you're in shock, or you're just disgusting? This 13-year-old girl was raped and mutilated and left for dead. She died. And I will still say this. I don't know how CPS have not been sued and let all the people go and get new people in. While they're over here taking jobs from people who really need them and taking people away from the jobs that are really needed, CPS is definitely needed, but they need new people because this is insane. Steele's comment about the case were thoroughly criticized by Toledo Police Chief Michael Troendle in an interview. I was very taken aback by those comments. To me, unprofessional. To me, not his place. There's a lot of things that he was running his mouth about that he had no business talking about, the police chief said. Those are details that would never be released in the investigation. Troendle went on to say he would neither confirm nor deny the details relayed, but insisted the release of any such details could have jeopardized the entire investigation and case. Hours before the discovery, the grim discovery, her father, Darnell Jones, 33, had been charged with abduction, according to the police. That charge was quickly upgraded to murder. Law enforcement have yet to speculate on the motive for the slaying. Details about the defendant are also presently scarce. Jones did, however, add his voice to the chorus of concerned family members back when she was still considered missing, saying he last heard from her late on the night of March 16th, a Sunday. I came over here because she said that it seemed like somebody was trying to break into the house. Me and my cousin sat over here for an hour and we left around 12:30-ish. The next morning, the girl did not show up at Spring Elementary School, where she was due to receive a kindness award that week after recently making the honor roll, the public school said. Calls to her cell phone went straight to voicemail, her family said. Okay, so here is a motive, I would say, if it's him, a motive. I've seen it on another one where he assaults the child, sexually assaults the child, molested the child, and he want her. Like, that's actually a thing. Y'all remember the one with the police? We did one with it was a girl, she was a police officer, and I think it was in New Mexico. Could be, could not be. But her dad was obsessed with her, and he killed her because she found out all that, and she did not want him. That's your dad. That's her biological father. He killed her because of that. He was obsessed with her, like sexually obsessed with her, watching her, had her underwear, like that type of stuff. So that stuff do happen, and it's very disturbing. You'd be like, what is that? Like, I don't, ugh. God, it just, people gross me out, man. Oh my goodness. But that is actually a thing. He could just be a sick man, a murderer. Could just not want her around. Where is her mother? Did her mother pass? Is she in the life? Like, I got questions about that. Where was the grandmother doing all this? So if he went over there, she was obviously staying with the grandmother, not him. He could have just wanted her dead for some reason, that because she did not like him. So many questions. But where was the grandmother? It was Monday morning when I came home. She wasn't here. The girl's grandmother, Dorothy Latigue, told the news. Of course, she was supposed to have been on her way to school. The scene the woman found at home was suspicious, she said, noting the marked presence of gas from the kitchen stove left on. Other than her and I, it's just 2 dogs in the house, the girl's grandmother continued. So, who cut it on? So that was kind of suspicious. Her glasses and her underclothes were by the couch in the front. Her pajamas were on the dining room floor. A makeshift memorial sprouted up at the house where her body was found, with dozens of balloons festooned across the decrepit property. The city of Toledo now plans to demolish that residence. Families say any contributions for formal memorial services should be directed to the funeral home in Toledo. An affidavit filed in the case against Jones and obtained by the TV station said her father gave inconsistent statements about his behavior and his daughter's whereabouts on the night she went missing. The court document also says cell phone data and surveillance footage played a role in the decision to issue charges. On Tuesday morning, Jones was injured during a shootout with the Columbus SWAT team after days of surveillance, according to the law enforcement. Columbus is roughly 140 miles due south of Toledo. The defendant is currently recuperating in an area hospital. An arraignment slated for Wednesday in the court has been postponed. And real quick, guilty people wouldn't do all of this. It's like, why are you hiding? Why do you have guns? Why are you shooting at the SWAT team? He looks very guilty. It's like, it's given, you're caught. Jones had yet to be processed as an inmate at the Franklin County Jail as of this writing. It's unclear what combination of charges he will ultimately face over his daughter's death, though he will certainly face charges in both the Toledo and Columbus areas. At least one person who knew her believed warning signs about a dire domestic situation were present and for some time. This feels preventable. Kayleen, the girl's former 6th grade teacher, told the news. The educator went on to say that she and various other employees at their academy called child welfare authorities over the stuff she was saying and noted visible injuries on the girl's body. Kaymani expressed some things to us in the school, not only to myself, but to the other adults in the buildings. Her peers, her school bus driver, who all made phone calls to CPS, she said. Lucas County Children's Service was notified on several different occasions that she may be at risk of child abuse in the home, and it just fell on deaf ears. Our calls were not heard. Her voice was not heard, and she told us some very concerning things that was happening to her in the household. She was days away from turning 14 when she was killed. This is so sad. And now the question is, she's reporting abuse, and it's only her and the grandmother in the household. So was the grandmother abusing her? That's what it's given to. And maybe this could be a thing, if that's his mom, it could be a thing that he wasn't allowed to see the daughter, and now he want to take her, but he was, I don't know, y'all, this is really weird. But now my question is, was the grandmother abusing her? Because I don't believe that, like she said, it was just her, the grandmother, the grandmother said it was just the daughter, and the 2 dogs. Where did he come from? Why was he allowed in the home? Why is she not able to be with him? Obviously, he's not stable enough to have her. So you have the grandmother, her responsibilities were, where were you? And you have him. Why are you there? I don't know. This is weird. But this girl was mutilated. 13 years old. Oh my God. It's just so sad. This is like a really dark world, y'all, we live in. And there's some crazy stuff happening. Like, oh my goodness. CPS. They have to get, like, sue these people. Please. Fire these people. Why are they the only ones never fired when they don't do their job? I don't understand that. And it's only so much on this right now, y'all, but it was a lot of information. Is it just me, y'all? Because I've never been a fan of, like, people putting flowers where somebody was found deceased. Like, I just feel like it's disrespectful. She was murdered there. I would not want to, like, visit it. And I'm happy they demolishing that building. But I guess it's just to remember, like, that's where she was. I get it. But it's just so, it's just so scary to me. And it's really heartbreaking. I wouldn't want to, I wouldn't want that. And I'm a very spiritual person, so it could be a thing of maybe some people believe that, you know, I don't know, this might sound weird, y'all, but I'm gonna say it to get it out. It could be a thing where people believe that, you know, your soul don't rest until justice. So she won't be able to leave, and people put flowers there because she's still there. I don't know if that sounds weird, but that's just something I believe in. I feel like you don't get justice until you rest, and everybody knows her soul is still there. Did that make sense? If it don't make sense, I apologize. But I don't know. It's interesting that people do that though, because I wouldn't want that. But I know people do that because it's a sad situation. I understand why they do it. I just, at the same time, I don't. So I hope that made sense. This is insane. A 13-year-old girl, young, beautiful girl, raped, murdered, hands cut off, being abused at home. Her grandmother should definitely be a suspect because she was telling everybody that. It's like, what is going on? And the dad is allegedly the killer. This is insane. This is, oh my gosh. This is like I said, I'm going to say it one more time. This is a scary world we live in. People really like taking lives of children, their own children, and nobody protecting these kids. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay safe, stay aware, stay alert, take care of your kids. Just, it's insane. I keep saying insane, but it is. Just the fact that people can hurt kids. I never understood that. Some sick individuals out here and they live among us. I will let you guys go. Bye.